I wanted to continue to hear y'all talk about smelling like outside.
If you want the world to know, you must.
Hey, look, it's
you was talking about smelling like
I am
outside.
au natural.
You must.
Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Vibe Controllers Podcast. Murph B, Cocky McFly, and Fifth Child out here.
But you are.
Did you have natural deodorant?
No, I don't believe in that.
Amen.
Did you
Come on, aluminum.
Give me all the aluminum. Give me all the aluminum.
Hey man, if I get cancer, I get cancer. Give me this. I ain't gonna be stinking up.
fresh.
Right.
There you go. How about that? Okay, let me.
Because maybe there are open organ donors. But, right.
And don't nobody want no musty oil.
I apologize.
Thank you for the sound. I appreciate it.
Gosh.
Hey everybody,
It's
welcome.
gonna be fun.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Vibe Controls Podcast. This is episode 42. Thank y'all so much for tapping in with us. Thank you for all the support. I go by the name of Cocky McFly, and then guy across the table from me, Merk B. Williams. Merk, say hey to the people.
I am Merk B. Williams. I'm on a billboard. The price has now gone up.
Oh my God.
I keep telling y'all I'm famous. Now you can see me every morning before you go to work. Out here.
Anyway, also in the building, as always, the homie Fifth Child. Fifth Child, say hey to the people.
Oh, dang.
Oh, dang, was perfect.
No.
Come on.
What Italians be saying? I don't know.
Mustang. Lay Mustang. Or his French.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know what Italian for hello is, but whatever that is.
That ain't it.
It's a me, Mario.
Oh, that is
Right.
racist. Oh, God.
Okay.
That's racist.
There are professional people listening to this. The views of Fifth Child are not the views of the Vibe. Also, we have a special guest in the building this evening. We got our cousin, play cousin, auntie, shoot, all that, man. We got Belinda Lane in the building. Belinda, say hey.
Hey. Well, hello there. How are you this evening? I'm so happy to be here with my cousins, my cousin cousins.
That's right.
Cousin.
Cousin.
Oh.
So, Belinda is here on behalf of an organization. We'll give y'all some more information on that when we tap into the conversation. But she is about to, we about to dig into some questions with her. And we about to talk about some stuff that black folk don't be talking about.
That we really do not like to discuss.
And that's organ donation.
Yes.
That is in reference to the billboard that you can see on North State Street. If you are turned into a Veterans Memorial Stadium, going to work at UNMC, or if you're going to the Jack State game, you see two young fellas who say, yes, you should. Donate your organs.
That's right.
Anyway, man, as I said, this is episode 4.
And by the way, ciao.
Podcast. We appreciate y'all. We got Belinda Lane in the building. Round of applause. And all the other good stuff. So, yeah, man, for the folks who don't know, kind of give us an introduction of who you are, what you do, who you with, and really more importantly, like, why are you, so passionate about this cause that not a lot of people really talk about in our community?
Yeah, so again, my name is Belinda Lane, and I work for MORA, which stands for Mississippi Organ Recovery Agency. I'm here tonight with my cousins so that I can make sure that you guys understand the why and why I'm so passionate about organ recovery. One of the things that I do want to share is that we are the only OPO in the state of Mississippi. So when I say OPO, I'm referring to Organ Procurement Organization. There are 58 organ procurement organizations across the state, but we happen to be the one that Mississippi has. And so we are so happy about being able to share this information tonight, because the one thing that I run into all the time when I run into people who look like me and I start saying, hey, do you want to be an organ donor, or have you registered to be an organ donor? The first thing they say, oh no, oh no, yeah, I'm taking this to the grave with me.
Like, what you gonna do with your spleen? Like, you don't need it.
But it's always so strange to me, because I just think about the fact that as African Americans, well, guess what? We have the highest need. We have more folks on the registry than any other folks out there. So I just believe that it is left to us to be able to save and help our own people. And it just bothers me that we run away from it before we even have the opportunity to listen about any of the information, the awareness that people can learn from if they just take a minute to listen. So I know that you guys have helped us quite a bit, and we're so proud to have you guys support our mission. And our mission is to be able to go out there and save lives and allow people to live beyond themselves and to live longer than they had ever anticipated. And so the way to do that is to be able to get someone else to say, hey, I can't take these organs with me when I take them to the grave. Well, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, nothing. What do people do? What do people do with them organs?
I would like to know.
They don't donate.
So why do you think there's such a negative stigma around
Organ donation?
especially for us? Like, why for us?
Oh, there's so many reasons. The first thing is that, most of us, we don't like talking about death. We don't think that we're going to die, right? That's why a lot of times we don't have life insurance and we've got to go get GoFundMes, right?
Or fish fries. Boy.
Absolutely. So then the other part of that is that Grandma and them said, okay, they said, if I give my organs away, I ain't gonna go to heaven. So those are reasons, those are valuable reasons for them to be able to say that, because most folk believe what their grandmothers and what their moms say, and it gets passed down from generation to generation. Then that other thing is that, if I get that little red heart on my license, well, if I get in a car accident, they're not going to save me. So those are some of the reasons as to why people think I really should not consider being an organ donor.
I have a question, and it kind of feeds off of that, piggybacks off that, because it is a real issue, the whole idea of distrust in terms of the medical community when it comes to the black community, and it's not an unfounded distrust either.
Right.
When and it's not like I have a big dog in the fight or anything, but learning more of the history of Planned Parenthood and learning about just the way that black women specifically are treated by medical professionals, like a lot of this stuff is documented.
Absolutely.
So it's like, and then even going back to grandma and grandparents, if so yes, the religious side of it, but then also we know how we are treated we're experimented upon, we're discredited, we are pushed aside until you need something from us, and then it's like, why are black people being so resistant? And so that's my, not even devil's advocate, but that's just what my understanding of the root of some people's distrust to the medical community at large.
Right. So I get that all of those things that you're saying, they make perfectly good sense, okay? But at the same time, when you get that eye-opening experience, and when you know better, then you do what? You do better.
You should.
So, yeah, you should. So here's the thing. In order to even be a potential donor, three things have to transpire. The very first thing is that you have to be in a hospital, okay? The second thing is that you have to be on a ventilator. Why do you think we need you to be on a ventilator? Because those organs need to continue pumping blood and oxygen. And then the third thing is, and this is the real kicker that most people don't even think about, but you have to be brain dead. So that's the eye opener. And all three of you are going like, no, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is super educational for me. Like,
Yeah.
which is exciting too, because it's knowledge, and
And you're supposed
know more
to use
about
it.
I know I can speak for me for sure, and I'm sure everybody else who's involved in the campaign. When you guys brought us aboard, we didn't know much about organ donor. It was just like, okay, yeah, cool, we can be a part of it, but like, what exactly is it? What does it look like? And just to be educated on it, makes us want to be a part of it for sure.
It makes sense.
It's
Yeah.
not just like you go in there with a cold and wake up and like, oh yeah, nigga, we took your shoulder.
Yeah. Because it's like, I'm gonna leave here, and there's nothing that I can do with this stuff. But like, if I'm, if what I have can lead to somebody else continuing their life in a positive way, then what's the bad thing about that?
Right.
Yeah.
And the other part about it is let's just imagine that we have 1,000 people in the room. If we have 1,000 people in a room, only 3 of those 1,000 people might potentially be a donor. So that's the reality of it. This is why we need more people to register. I know that the medical community has done some things that it should not have in terms of African American folks, but these are realities of the fact that you are not going to wake up and have some kind of disease when you wake up. It's not going to be a situation where we will just take your organs and give them to my cousin, okay? It's not going to happen. So this is not how it works, because so many prerequisites have to take place in order for us to even be able to donate those organs.
So what are some of the, like, I know you mentioned a few, but what are some of the, like, some from a physical standpoint? Like, what are some of the things that one has to have in order to even be an organ donor? Because you don't want no bad.
Right. So here's the thing. You've got to make sure that the blood types are right. You've got to make sure that the size, the height, and all of these things have to come into play in order to even be a donor. I'm sure you guys remember Walter Payton, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Walter Payton, from what I understand, he passed away with liver cancer. Okay, so right before, from what I understand, right before he was diagnosed with liver cancer, he was on the list to be a potential recipient for a liver. But if that doesn't happen fast enough, then he cannot be a recipient. Okay, so he was not able to be a recipient because it just didn't happen fast enough. But all of those things, like I said, the blood type, body size, all of those things have to be in place in order for a person to even be considered for a potential donor.
So, because I know a few people who
Probably have been on the list for a long
Yeah.
time.
like, a long time. And
Right.
why does it take so long?
So, all of those things, along with the fact that, like, for instance, there was a guy who recently passed away. He had been on the list for 40 years. One of the longest known people to be able to live on dialysis around this area. Just passed away a few months ago, as a matter of fact. I think he started out when he was about 15 years old or something like that, doing dialysis. Yeah, so he had been on there a long time, but The thing is that he had received a kidney, but the kidney was not good for him. So they removed the kidney, put him back on dialysis, and he just said he didn't want to try getting a kidney again. So people have their reasons as to why they do certain things too. Also, like I said, but a lot of it is that those organs have to be a good match. For instance, Selena Gomez, I'm sure you guys know Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez had some issues with her kidneys. Selena Gomez went through her family trying to see if they were going to be a good match. They were not. But Selena's best friend was the perfect match for her. So sometimes people have certain issues that prevent them to, for instance, their size, things like that. So some folks have to actually lose weight in order to get a life-saving organ.
So we talk. I guess one of the things we can talk about is, because I'm sure it's a financial thing, or is it financial?
It's not financial on the end of the donor. Okay, so if you are a donor, your family does not incur any expenses. Okay, the recipients, on the other hand, they will incur some expenses. But for the most part, a lot of times people's, insurance will cover some of it, or a large portion of it. Their Medicaid and things of that nature. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was really curious about class. Because, you mentioned Selena Gomez. She might have resources that...
Well, here's the thing. Status is not included in that.
Okay.
Status is not included in whether or not you're going to get a life-saving organ.
Okay. That's important.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the same playing field.
Yes.
Basically, yeah. I'll go here, bro.
This could be a dumb question.
No questions, dumb
start off a question like
questions.
that? It could be a dumb question.
There's some dumb
there's some dumb questions. So let's say, and even if you don't want to get too deep into the conversation about cost and stuff like that, let's say that I am on the list for an organ, and they find a donor, and I get the replacement, and would that be a different cost from my brother giving me his organ? Because is the cost for the procedure, or are they including like, oh, we're gonna charge you $75,000 for this kidney?
I really there's no fee for organs. That's the thing. There's no fee for organs. What you're paying for is not
the procedure.
You're paying for the procedure
only. Okay,
but
that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah. So a lot of times people will ask those questions which I can't answer because I don't know what costs look like in terms of the hospitals and transplants and things of that nature. But I know people who have been the poorest of poor who've received organs, and I know people who've been rich who's received organs. So I don't necessarily know how to answer the question about cost because I don't deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah, ain't like can't get you to live for $15.
As long as I know,
it'll cost you.
But as long as I'm agreeing to be a donor and I'm knowing, because again, if you have no knowledge of it, it's gonna make you ask a whole lot of questions.
And we
and
want
I'm
people.
glad that, Buddy brought up the financial aspect of it, because that is, that's a thing now. Definitely right now, post pandemic, cost is always a big thing. But to know that I can get my organs and they don't cost me nothing, all right, bet, I'm helping somebody for free.
Now, are you saying as a living donor or deceased donor? let me clarify that part, because there are two kinds of donors. Okay,
please clarify.
There are two kinds of donors. There's a living donor, which is what you decide that you want to do. Like, for instance, if your brother needed a kidney and you decide, okay, I'm gonna give him.
Well, no, the kidney's good now. The liver, I don't know. That liver might be.
Well, the liver, you can donate a portion of the liver because the liver regenerates itself. So that's the good part about
Really?
that.
I didn't know
Well,
that.
listen, you know what?
I did not know that.
I'm going finna go get drunk tonight.
Right.
The,
It'll be fine.
the liver regenerates itself. Yeah, so you can share.
I'm out here feeling bad about the tequila that I be consuming and not knowing that my
Let you
liver,
Wolverine.
my liver done snapped back. Bruh.
Well, you can
Right.
donate a portion of your liver. For instance, we had a 13-year-old. Well, I met this guy. He's 13 years old, and his dad donated a portion of his liver to his son. They were a perfect match. And so the dad's liver is going to grow back to its full state.
And you can live healthy, like both parties can just move on. Live
Yeah,
healthy.
absolutely.
Bro, I was today years old.
I did
Let me
not
tell
know
you,
that.
this
I feel like I want to fuck my
Nah.
liver up just
No, we don't
It'll
want
be
you to do
all right.
that.
Just cut the bad
I
part
know.
off.
Let me tell you, we don't always agree, but I am 110% with you
Cut
on
the
this.
bad part off.
It's just gonna regenerate itself.
I'm telling you, we are a hilarious podcast, but we are slightly slow. We did not know.
I did not
none
know
of
that.
this shit.
Yeah. So the liver is one of those organs that will regenerate. itself.
I'm
That's
41 and I don't know how my body works. This is terrible.
All right, so one of the questions I had, because I was reading through this list, and it ain't funny, but it's funny because the question was like, can members of the LGBTQIA plus community receive and or donate organs? And I'm like, do people really question that?
Well, it's questionable because of some of the ailments that come or arise as a result of that sometimes. And so, yes, they can be donors and they can be recipients. However, if you are HIV positive, and I'm not saying, of course, that all LGBT folks are HIV positive, but if you are HIV positive, it used to be that you could not receive life-saving organs. So the good part about what happens now is that one HIV positive person can be a donor to another HIV positive person, which essentially helps to save someone's life. I was at an event a few months ago, and I had a transgender person asked me about that same question. And so her question was why is it that so many of my friends who are HIV positive have to wait so long? And that's a part of the reason, because you've got to be HIV positive in order to donate to someone else who's HIV positive.
So everything has to match.
Yeah, that particular portion has to match. Yeah.
Wow. Because when I was reading the question, I was like, well, they people. They should be able to. But,
Absolutely.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. But see, that
Yeah.
hasn't always been the case. So we're happy now that, our friends who are LGBT can now be recipients.
Mm-hmm.
And that hasn't always been the situation. So,
Yeah,
yes.
I can only imagine. So, is there an age limit of any kind?
Oh, no, absolutely not. There's no age limit on being a donor. There's no age limit on being a recipient. Yeah.
Okay. So you can be 105. I don't
Yes.
know if I want them. I don't know if I want them. I'm just saying. I mean, you've been had it for a while. It's you. I mean,
But if the liver rejuvenate itself, do that mean your 105-year-old liver still good?
did it turn into a 25?
No, I'm not gonna say that liver is gonna always be great. I'm not a medical person. I'm not involved in the medical field, but
My liver got some miles on it.
Already.
Yeah, man, you got a lot more
Feel like I
miles
got
on
a
you.
long way to go. I'm like,
so I'm thinking probably about 300,000 miles in the room, over 300,000 in the room.
that was yesterday.
Rookie numbers.
I did 300,000 by myself.
I'm on my 670
It's about to be homecoming week.
It is. So, so what was the other question I was going to
And that short-term memory, look.
That's what alcohol.
Well, you can't donate the brain now.
We don't want that anyway. We don't want that.
Let me tell you, Miss Belinda, your brain fucked.
You don't want
I'm
that.
telling you, I wouldn't even do no bad like that. You hear me? But real quick, so and I'm gonna ask the religious question second because I really want to dig into that a little bit. So people really be out here trying to sell their organs?
So they do in other countries. Here
Okay.
in the United States, that is, of course, against the law. And my example is this. When, like, a lot of times we do presentations with students, okay, in high school, we do a lot of student-led presentations, and they say, well, Miss Belinda, what about when they take you in the back corner and they try and take the orders? And I say, okay, you cannot get your degree off of those medical shows and Netflix. You just cannot do it. Because if you do, you're going to be thinking that that stuff is true, and it's not. But you got to be a sick person if you are literally trying to take somebody's organ and then back out.
But you gotta be
And-
sick if you just trying to take it out
Yeah.
to go sell it to
Do you
somebody.
know people be in BBLs and stuff like that in garages?
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah,
getting
So
that
it is not out
not
of the realm of
uncommon.
possibility.
I'm not saying it's not out of the rim, but I am saying, how often do you think that somebody's going to take an organ and take it up to the hospital and say, hey,
Oh,
get this to my brother, get this to my sister?
Can I get $100?
Yeah.
How much can I give
Hey
you?
man, do
How
you
much I
know
give
how
this
down
appendix?
bad you got to be, bro? To just be going up here selling lungs and
Where you get the lungs
where you
from?
get the
That's what I'm
lung
talking about.
from? Is this a pig lung or is this human?
I don't
like to
put
know.
anything
I
past
don't put
people.
nothing past
I don't put nothing past people.
Man, that's
But it is kind of asinine that we have to ask these kind of questions because this is stuff that people do, and I'm pretty sure somebody gonna have that question. That's what it is.
So on the religious tip, because
Oh,
I
this
know
should be
you
interesting.
mentioned this, when we first kind of started talking, like, yeah, I haven't read your Bible now. I know I ain't never seen nothing in the Bible where it say you gonna go to hell if you donate your
Well, you know, as African Americans, we have our own scriptures,
We
and
sure
our
do.
African American 1 and 3. I can't say the other words.
Nigga 1 and 3.
Nigga 1 and 3. We
We'll
gonna
say
say it, or Negro if you like.
Sorry to
Yeah.
the people at more.
So here's the thing: we
They gonna take you off the billboard.
They are there.
Oh no, damn, my bad.
We
That was my AI. It wasn't me.
I'm gonna pull up. It's just gonna be Kelly in a
that-
black face.
Hey, it was Chat GPT. It wasn't us.
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
It's okay.
Being
But
rude.
seriously though, because I know, and I know a lot of these decisions, just medical decisions in general. People do rely on their faith and things of that nature, prayer to make decisions. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Talk to God.
Oh,
But
yeah. Well, you know how we do. We claim it on everything. Claim it on
You
everything.
sure know what to say. But like, cause I saw the question and tapped on the link, and I'm like, learn more about religious perspectives on organ and tissue donation. I'm like, that's like a real thing?
Oh yeah. So there are some denominations that don't support it, but for the most part, most of your religions suggest that organ donation is a good thing. It's your final act of kindness. It's the last good thing that you're going to be able to do in life.
Mm-hmm. That might be the people who don't support them, the pro-life people. Let me be quiet.
I wonder what I know this ain't got
got.
nothing to do with them, but I would like to know where the Pink House parishioners are. Like,
Good.
I don't know where they ain't got nowhere to go no more. Where do they preach now?
They funded first thing.
Or harass, whatever you want to call it.
They be out there. They really do be out. So have you had any personal experiences? And it may be getting a little bit too deep, but just personal experiences with folks you may know or family members.
Oh yeah.
I assume you're an organ donor.
I registered to be an organ donor when I was 18 years old.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, I just knew that if I was gonna do anything, I mean, what can I do with my organs once I'm gone?
Yeah.
When you're brain dead, and this is the other part of what I said to you guys earlier about those 3 things that have to take place. When you are brain dead, you're not coming back. It's not like being in a coma, and that's the thing that I explain and express to folks all the time. You are not going to be coming back if you're brain dead. It's just a matter of time, and you're on that ventilator, like I said, just to be able to make sure that oxygen and blood is flowing through the organs.
Yeah.
So I just have a strong belief that if I can do anything to help somebody else along the way, then let me do it. I mean, I'm going to be gone.
And Trinity, where you gonna be, you ain't gonna be thinking about them organs. Or these people.
Right.
You hear me? Well, we pray. I don't know what your life was like before you came up in here and I met you, Miss Belinda. I assume you going to heaven.
I'm trying.
No,
Well,
you
you're not trying. You going.
You going.
I believe you going. It's the folk who people think going. They the one ain't going. We gonna be sitting up there sipping Mai Tai.
I don't think you're gonna do that.
Man, listen, up there, man, the streets paved with gold. That was the best.
All right, man. It's time to
and,
shut you up.
and fountains of white liquor.
All right, man. We doing this.
Oh my God.
This is
Steven wants to say something so
I
bad.
This is.
I was
this
just
is-
saying. At the wedding, Jesus didn't turn water into apple juice.
He sure did. Come on, Pastor.
Was the apple juice a mixer?
Tell them folk what God loves.
I'm just saying. This ain't got
Jesus said,
nothing
keep
to
the
do
party going.
with organ donation.
I'm just telling you what my God loves.
This ain't got nothing to do with being
It
an
is.
organ donor.
I'm sorry.
And I want to make sure we get everything in. So, it doesn't cost anything to donate your organs. There's no cost to be a donor. It's free. Now, if you get one, you got to pay for labor, like at the mechanic. But yeah, one of the other things I read in some of the stuff that we discussed, and I guess it's really about minorities and why we should be concerned about being donors.
Well, yeah, so I'm glad you asked that question. So here's the thing. If we were to donate more or be donors more, then, normally what happens is that a person that looks like you, has the same background and all this kind of thing, those organs usually are better for you as opposed to others.
Okay.
But like I said, here's the thing. We just do not tend to be organ donors as much. We're afraid. We don't want to talk about it. It's one of those things. I'm going to take all that stuff to my grave. Those people are not going to save me if I'm in an accident. First responders are just going to leave me behind. All kinds of things. But yes, it's so important that as African Americans, we become donors because we need more folks that look like us. It's just a better fit if you can have the organs from someone who looks like you.
Yeah, for sure. And, go ahead.
I almost wonder if these type of initiatives, and maybe they already are, but them being paired with just general education about medical everything for Black people, because you still have a lot of Black people that don't have a primary care physician. You still have folks that haven't had a comprehensive health exam in years.
Absolutely.
That don't have a dentist. Like, I mean,
Or
there's
PCP.
Right.
Or any of that.
Yeah.
right, yeah, and so I think that there's
That's primary
there's a lot
care
of space.
physician, not the drug.
They ain't got PCP.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just a lot of opportunities for growth in that space, and maybe it starts not smaller, but things that are less invasive sounding, because like, I need to get my blood pressure checked, and I just wonder if it's like a thing where they have to be spoon fed like smaller bites into the being educated on a grander scale. You know, because, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world, and we work tirelessly to do that. Like, I am trying to go into every corner that I possibly can. As a matter of fact, let me just kind of expound upon it a little bit. This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I say that because I am a 20-year breast cancer survivor.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You got it.
what's up.
When you
Oh,
go
yeah.
and edit, we got to
Yeah.
put some applause.
That's
Awesome.
right.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yes. But let me just tell you a little bit about my story. I was 32 years old when I found out. 32 years old.
And you 33 right now.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got you.
And I had a 5-year-old kid. And, I just knew that I needed to be the one to raise this child. But let me just kind of bring it home to you about how organ donation ties in with breast cancer. So, of course, I'm sure all three of you know someone who's been affected or impacted by breast cancer. And so we usually know more folks that have incurred breast cancer than we do organ transplants. But here's the thing. What we don't realize, and I'm about to take your wig off once again, okay? So a lot of times women have reconstructive surgery, okay? So we can make boobs look like they used to, okay? So when they have reconstructive surgery, they can't always get tissue from their own bodies. And guess what? Some of that tissue is donated tissue. So now I'm blowing your wig off again, okay? And this year we'll be even sharing that information. And I'm just going to give a shout out to Stephen James's foundation, because we'll be sharing some information about that at his pink party this year. And this is something that's huge, because think about it. How many of us donate that look like us so that we can have tissue that looks like us?
So they getting where they
Frankenstein.
Skin.
Frankenstein.
Skin. This is tissue.
and
Reconstruct.
man,
Yes.
I've never known that.
Well, that's why we
I've
need more
never
people
known
to register to be donors. And I always say, sometimes most folk, if your liver is bad because it was homecoming this past weekend, if your liver was bad because you turn up too much, then guess what? If you can't give your liver, you can't give your kidneys, you can't give any of those things, you can always think about tissue. Tissue is skin. It's also the eye cornea. Okay. So everybody is born with eye cornea, right? And so that's a part of tissue. All right. So then you have other things like heart valves. That's a part of tissue. And you have people who get skin grafts because, they're in bad accidents and they've been burned pretty bad. That is a part of that also. And then, you have folks who tear their ACLs. You guys ever play sports?
yeah.
Okay. There are folks who tear their ACL all the time that play sports, that are in the military. ACL can also be donated. Pick your wig up off the floor.
Cause
How?
listen, I know some folk who need a knee right now.
Right.
And I'm folks. But
How many times can an organ be donated? Here's why I ask. So my sister-in-law was actually a recipient of a heart transplant.
Mm-hmm.
But not long after the heart transplant, she still had kidney failure, which ended up being, the cause of her death. So that heart that was transplanted to her, if the heart was pretty much fine, it's just that her body was rejecting it. The medicine for her heart was bad for her kidneys. The kidney medicine was bad for her heart. So in the case where like a heart can be salvaged after it had already been transplanted into someone, could it continue that?
Can it be
cycle to someone
recycled?
else?
In other words,
Yeah.
No.
So
No.
once after the first transplant, that's it.
Yeah.
It's discontinued.
Yeah, it's not going to be recycled. No. Yeah, but that's a good question. We get asked that quite frequently. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. This was an amazing conversation with an even more amazing individual. Y'all give it up again for our friend, cousin, Miss Belinda Lane. Thank you so much for coming out and taking time out of your very busy schedule.
Very busy.
Because you just got off a plane and drove from, I hope you got you something to eat, but you drove and came up over and you was on time.
It was early.
And you made us be on time.
Oh, I'm always timely.
Well,
Yeah, let me tell you. Yeah. Today was a good day. That's what I will say.
So we definitely appreciate you coming out and just, dropping this knowledge on us. I know we've been trying to link up ever since we did the video shit. So
Yeah.
and so glad we were able to do that. Even more glad we got a friend. So that's what's up.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just tell the people how they can get in touch with you, where they can get more information on everything that we discussed today.
Yeah, so the only thing you have to do is go to our website, which is msora.org. That's msora.org. That's Mora. And you can also register to be an organ donor on registerme.org. You can even register on your iPhone for you Apple lovers out there. Go to your health, what is that thing called?
The health app.
Yeah, health app.
Yeah. We'll just
Go
say
to
the
your health app,
Yeah.
and you can register to be an organ donor there even.
That's
So
super cool. I
yeah.
did not know that.
yeah, so you go to your health app and register. You can register at your driver's license station. You can register when you get your fishing and hunting license even. So we have literally lots of ways that you can be a registered donor. But hey, the very last thing that I have to say is that I certainly hope that you guys have learned something from this podcast, something that will make you think about saying, yes, you should.
That's what I'm talking about. You done did this a couple times. So,
Okay.
I hope these people
I
need to be
am.
paying you a pretty penny for this.
I'm sure they are.
You are dedicated.
I'm telling you, I feel invigorated.
Well,
Just-
good.
So while you
That's
feel
what-
invigorated, tell the people what you got coming up.
Man, just follow me on social media. And my busy season is in full swing, so we're grateful for that, man. I just want to give a big shout out to the tailgate crew. We had a great time celebrating homecoming at USM, and shout out to the beautiful people in Indianola, Mississippi. We had a time last night.
Yeah, I saw you. I forgot my feather.
Yeah, we had a time last night, man. So shout out to Tony Sims and all of those good people, man. So we had us a good time. We got a lot coming up this month, so just follow me on social media at Merk B. Williams, and you can see where I'll be at next.
Steven, sorry, 50.
I have lots of things. We're launching Tubi Tuesday.
Oh,
Tubi Taco Tuesday.
This tomorrow?
Tubi and
Tomorrow,
tacos.
Tubi and
Oh,
tacos.
so the taco truck pulling up?
Maybe.
Let me tell you, I have started to stalk this man. I be wherever he is. I be trying to see him.
So that's
Maybe.
tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Tubi Tuesday. And I mean, I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and let the people know we watching. We watching. No disrespect. So,
I saw the little
You did-
preview.
did you
It
see
is.
the
It's
preview?
atrocious. Oh, it's terrible.
yes, indeed. But
It looked
then
like I made the flap.
I'll be speaking on a panel at the State Arts Conference. I'm going to be talking with some other folks about MFAs, Masters in Fine Arts, which I don't have one, and why it's, well, from my perspective, why it wasn't necessary for me to have the career that I have in arts. I also will be performing with the Mississippi Symphony Orchestra
Oh,
at
yeah.
Cade Chapel Missionary Baptist Church. That's going to be on the 29th. And besides that, there's lots of ACT stuff, of course, lots of other programming. There's a group called 601 for Period Equity that's going to be doing some packing parties here for just essentials for women. And we have our first art show opening. It's going to be on the 21st. It's a young man, really, really dope artist, and he's never had a gallery show before. We've never hosted a gallery show here, so it'll be a first for both of us. So we're really excited about that.
That's gonna be dope. Also, as always, we're recording live.
Oh yeah, and Trunk or Treat. My bad.
Oh yeah, but it's cheering. We're recording.
What
live.
about adults? Any treats for adults?
So that's later that evening. There's a game night on Tuesday the 31st.
Oh, yay.
So you can.
Bring the kiddos earlier and then
I don't know if you
send them
want.
home.
I don't know if you want to mess up your liver because you might not be able
Right,
to
put
donate.
some more miles on.
Some miles on it. I mean, you can pull up. I'm just telling you.
I had some trick or treat punch.
Right, see, there you go.
I don't know if it's gonna trick you, but it's sure gonna be a treat.
It might be the wrong treat. You know what it is. But yeah, as always, we're recording live from the Broward Art Center. So y'all make sure y'all follow on social media. Check out their website. Yeah, and also make sure you follow the Vibe Patrollers. We got a bunch of stuff coming up. Most recently, you can catch us on the 21st. Social Bistro 21 for the Day Skate Day Party. That is Jackson State Valley game. So y'all pull up on us. We're going to have some fun, watch the game, listen to some music, eat some wings, and continue to ruin our livers. That's what it is.
Because they come back.
Because they rejuvenate
No.
themselves.
No, when you donate a
Because them
portion
hoes
of it.
indestructible.
Well, let me go on and get rid of the
Because
portion.
them
I
livers
need
is
to get rid of, so we
indestructible.
can go on, come on back.
We know. We giving y'all terrible information.
I'm gonna run with this.
This
I
why
can't wait to go to the workout room tomorrow. I'm finna talk about this.
this why the black people can't do right today. 'Cause we taking the information wrong. Anyway, man, as always, before we leave, we like to leave you with a little nugget, a little something you can carry on through the day, through the hour, through the minute, whenever you're listening. And it's customary. We always allow our guests to drop a nugget on us before we leave. So, Miss Belinda, because I'm from the Delta, and you're supposed to say Miss before you say first name.
Goodness, I'm not that old, am I?
No,
But really, we don't say Miss. It be more like me.
Okay,
Belinda.
Midland.
So, Miss
Yeah,
Belinda.
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
So I just want to make sure that people understand and are aware that there are over 100,000 men, women, and children that are in need of life-saving organs. And so when we say or encourage you to be an organ donor, we just want you to say, yes, you should.
Yeah. Check out the commercial on YouTube.
That's right.
And you can check out that beautiful billboard
It is.
on North State Street. It's at least one handsome person on there, and it ain't Merc. So we appreciate you.
Well, there's at least one famous person on there.
And
And
it
it
ain't-
ain't cocky.
I don't desire to be famous because I'm relevant.
I don't either.
Anyway, so look,
I hate to hate.
we thank y'all so much for tapping in with us, man. Again, this is episode 42. We got 2 more episodes left in this season, and then I'm going on vacation. I'm dead. Like a mug. So yeah, Merc.
Oh, y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay free. Y'all share that.
All right, 2 fingers up means peace to the side because I'm chilling.
You gotta get a catchphrase. boy.
He steals catchphrase.
Oh, yeah.
And so, as customary, since you have listened to the podcast, you have to say it before we end the podcast. Nobody can go home until you say it, Miss Belinda. Do you know what to say?
What am I supposed to be
We're
saying?
about to tell.
All right,
Okay.
you gotta say out here, but you got to say it like this.
Out here. Out here.
There you go. We can go home.
One,
Thank you so much.
one take Linda. One take Linda.